Hello everyone, welcome to Your View. Thanks for joining us. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Hi ladies.
Hello.
I feel like I'm over-combined this morning. Because the green is you can hardly see the green on my jacket.
No,
so
I can see it very well.
You can, but it's on screen, it doesn't look very clear. So it looks like I have a pink jacket on, a blue in, and a green. It's okay, it's all right. I'm Jumokain today. Hi.
No, I like it. I love the jacket and the scarf together.
Thank you, Waike. How you doing, Waike?
I'm very well.
How was your weekend?
On Friday, I called you because when I got on my way to the shrine, there was traffic. Nobody could. So we went and turned and took the long way. When we got to the front of the shrine, they had used BRT buses to block the other side of the BRT buses, New Peng buses, and they were just scattering the place. So all the shrine people were outside looking at the show, got into the shrine. What's happening? They said they were rioting. NLC had been protesting. And the person they were protesting about, I think Oshino or something was his name, went and gathered area boys from Ikeja, brought them in buses, BRT buses, everything, to Necker House there. And man, they were just scattering the place. They beat one reporter. Most of them were running into the shrine for protection. One of them was on the phone, and the person he was talking to was saying, please meet me at Fela Shrine. Say, Fela Shrine. Me, I don't think go there. Fela Shrine. I say, you don't decrease. Where you dey? Who they protect you? You say you can't go there. He say, hey, I'm there. I say, it's your life.
Imagine. It's the perception. People just think that Fela Shrine is somewhere that is a no-go area.
Go on and say, meet me at the shrine. Yeah, I can't go there. And I was passing. I say, really? Yeah, you.
Let me joke to you. How are you doing?
I'm good. That's how I want to go fly, sir.
There's some people you tell you're going to shrine the weekend, like, shrine? Are they going to go? I'm not wondering.
I got a response on Twitter that one day that I said that I was driving towards shrine, and the lady tweeted back and said, shrine ke Jumoke, where were you going to? But I had a fantastic dinner yesterday with Eddie Lawani. He's an encyclopedia, and as usual, every time I spend time with him, I just get new insight. Yesterday, we were watching YouTube videos of the Biafran War and what Ojukwu said after the war, go on. In Ziogu before the war happened, after the 1966 coup. It was just interesting, and I thought to myself that a lot of us need to learn about our history. You know, if you learn about history, then you won't be calling for some things.
So true. So true.
How you doing, Noah?
Tell your government now so that they introduce history.
Bring it back.
Fantastic. Honestly, yesterday I felt like like somebody actually put drugs. If not that, okay, I monitored everything I had. I would have thought I was drugged yesterday. It was so bad. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I slept. I woke up like 4 p.m.
Wow.
You know. And yesterday was something else. I was really tired. Why? It's not jealousy, not tiredness. No. It's fatigue.
I'm tired, but I can't sleep.
No, thank God for that sleep. Then
you know has the word for that? It's called insomnia.
Yes. Then I forgot to mention, I met my siblings at Abuja. They watch our show. In short, they were calling all their neighbors, say, hey, come and see that my sister that you're always watching on TV. So Kelvin and Joy with their lovely children.
I went to my
insomnia is when you can't sleep at night.
Okay, so
I can sleep at night.
Okay, all right. Good.
Inability to sleep in the afternoon is also something.
I was saying that my provincial pastor was 70 yesterday. Him and his wife, Pastor Ego and his wife Diana. I went there and I was just like, Father Lord Almighty. It's as if when you see people grow old well together and they have a successful family, you know, think, what are all these politicians fighting? What are you building houses here, buying this, buying? This is what success is. You've grown up, your kids are doing well, they have good schools, you know, and everybody's here to celebrate with you. That is what life should be about. It shouldn't be about accumulating houses and cars. And
that when you are outside, you'll be watching.
Yes, you'll be
driving bulletproof cars really, because you're afraid.
Do you know the worst part of accumulating all this wealth is that when you grow old, inside your house, you can't use more than one room, bathroom, toilet.
Is it one room?
Kitchen.
One side of the bed.
It's the only way you grow old. Normally, you cannot use more than one bed.
Normally, see, my own house, I have 4 bedrooms. I don't use them. I use only. In fact, my friends that came to stay with me from America were like, you know, you don't come to your partner. I said, no. So I said, if it's not for my partner, I won't even have palo because
imagine.
I have no,
Anyway,
I don't use it.
We have to take a break now. When we return, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's start with the punch. Ex-governors under probe, plans former aides in EFCC. No more dismissal of corruption cases without trial, says CJN. Picture here, Port State, a block of classrooms and pupils of Garba Noma Junior Secondary School in Bauchi. How Agbele bought 1.3 billion naira houses for Fayoshe, says EFCC. 3 million naira theft, EFCC in manhunt for female ATM fraudster. Massive spill as Avengers bombshells pipeline. Alleged Sands bribe EFCC to probe retired Judge Unisa. Food prices soar as inflation hits 11-year high. Protect me from Melaye, Tinubu wife begs IG. And NFF picks Le Guen as Eagles coach. Human angle here?
This fraudster lady, let me quickly say it. The young girl, I can't remember what her name is now.
Something Akiade.
I
think it's
Tofumi
Akiade, because I remember Akiade.
That she goes to ATMs and where the ATM machines are, and she poses as someone that is trying to help, especially aged people and elderly people. So she would collect their cards and try to help them do the transaction over the ATM. Then in the process, she swaps the card, and she now carries on and she's using their card. So the EFCC has already put her pictures. And she was so smart.
And when she takes out the 150,000 one day, what she does is she does an ATM transfer to somebody else to do another withdrawal, an ATM transfer to another account to do another. That's how she was doing.
And they said this young girl, she's in her 20s.
She went to a hotel. Now her price was 10,000. Her fee was 10,000. She now put 1,000. They started shouting, "Give me my money!" So they had to give her 91,000 back.
So those are the different tricks she was using to get all the money out.
That particular account was 1,742,000 inside that account. Yeah. So she was trying to deplete it before Monday.
Yeah.
So that before the person will notice that this is not my card.
And even do anything about it.
She would have emptied the account.
Don't you think that banks should have a system where they can help you if your card gets stolen on a Saturday or a Friday?
No, there's a helpline for you to call actually for you to deactivate your card. But this one is that most of these old people would not even notice that these cards have been swapped. I'm sure she would have different bank cards. So as soon as it's like a particular bank, she would just swap. So you won't even think to check, okay, is this the same card?
Let's move on very quickly to the Nation.
Wicked person.
Buhari, Mark Namani meet over Senate tension. Picture here, one of the victims on the hospital bed. 3 dead, 10 injured in gas cylinder explosion. Senator Tinubu seeks police protection over Melaye's threat. Ex-Oyo NURTW Chief Auxiliary jailed. I think he got 6 years. And Le Guen is Super Eagles manager. This accident, this explosion, who read it?
I read it.
Yeah, you read it. Go on.
Oh, okay. I read the story. From the reports, they said a gas cylinder actually fell into a neighbor's house, and I'm sure maybe the head pulled out, so it was the gas was out all over the place. So they had told the neighbors that do not light.
They removed the cat somewhat, I think, exploded.
Yeah,
and they removed it
fell before it now exploded.
So, but it wasn't so bad then. They took out the cylinder outside.
Yeah.
Now told the neighbors, please, don't light anything. No, there's gas here. Unfortunately,
somebody was cooking. So the lady that was recounting her own story, she said she refused to enter the building. But unfortunately,
an 11-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Two children died.
The Le Guen has become the coach, our coach. He used to train the Lions, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. And he took them apparently to the FIFA World Cup in 2010.
Okay.
And
did they win?
They didn't win. Any African team has won before.
How much is he getting paid per month?
They didn't tell us.
$50,000. We're told $50,000 a month.
A month.
My only
Yeah.
concern with
A
this
month.
That's according to our correspondent.
YK, apart from $50,000 per month, they would give him
House.
Allowances, house, cars, and all that. These are the things, these are the perks they will not give a Nigerian coach.
Now you know, don't start that
Right,
conversation.
listen,
Listen,
just be
you know
honest.
what? Let's not start that
You know,
conversation. It's too
don't,
early.
don't make
Let
it
the
look
man
like we don't
perform
have
first.
professionals here.
Let's not even go that far because the real sports people have already argued this matter to the point
Now
where
what?
they don't argue the matters. Let us not even go there. Let us just hope this guy can fix the problem. When they now after that, if he now fails, we now start hashing out the hey, he got this, he got that.
He should better not fail because people like us are waiting for him very patiently.
Okay,
Please,
moving on to Vanguard.
Impatiently.
I quickly did the calculation. That's at least 15 million naira per
A
month.
They will not pay a Nigerian
Moving
coach
on, you know,
that
he's
amount.
moving on to Vanguard.
Earning more than our president.
Vanguard, Bola Ige, Dikebo, police to rearrest main suspects. Picture here of protesters say no to abuse, no to Dino Malaye, and all that. This is a cross-section of concerned group protesting an alleged verbal attack by Senator Malaye to Senator Tinubu. Federal government not tackling woes of oil community, says Dogara. War on corruption, delayed tactics by judiciary hampering progress. I didn't go with police vehicles, says Arashi. Federal government scraps common entrance interview test into unity schools. Inflation hit 16.5% in June, highest in 11 years. And oil, gas, power firms owe banks 3.8 trillion.
I wish I had read that Arase story because, you know, yesterday was in the papers that
So
he
he's
took
denying
24 vehicles.
So he's denying
when
that
he left.
he didn't
So
go with all the
Oh,
24
okay.
vehicles. I'm very pained to see women protesting on the streets in Lagos yesterday, and their major concern is what Senator Dino Malaye said to Senator Tinubu. I didn't see them protesting when this redeemed pastor was chopped to death in Abuja. I didn't see them protesting when people were killed by herdsmen all over Nigeria.
Or when that woman was killed in Kano,
Yeah.
beaten to death in Kano.
Nobody demanded that justice.
I think for me, this issue between senators and all that is derailing Nigerians from the crux of the issue. There's governance issue happening.
Yes.
So when we are focusing on, what's it called, fights between two senators, I mean, people, your focus now is now on their quarrel instead of whether they are doing their jobs as you know, senators. I think Nigeria should move away from this. They should sort it out. You know.
And I think I like what Jumake has said, because where we should see women protesting is where there are major issues, like that woman that was killed in the north.
Yes,
we
now
should have come out to demand
Justice.
justice, not this kind of protests.
No, you know that woman doesn't have money.
Daily Sir, moving on very quickly. My life in danger, says Tinubu's wife. Writes IGP seeks protection. Picture here again of the victims of the gas explosion. Corruption, Buhari knocks judiciary again. Gas explosion kills 3, he's talked about that. Masari, Mark Namani meet Buhari and plead for Saraki. Kidnapping, Lagos puts security agencies on red alert. Interesting, there's lots of kidnapping recently, so the Lagos state is saying that, listen, we're on top of it, and hopefully that should end soon.
You know, but it's really scary, you know. It's really scary to know that someone can just come and take you
From your house.
just like that.
On foot.
Just like that. And they took him with guns and everything.
Yeah, so
On foot.
Terrible thing. Terrible thing.
But the police have said that he's alive though.
Okay, guys, you want to talk about Senator Tinubu said her life is in danger.
So she was saying yesterday, because she was seeking protection, and I support her in the sense of
officially writing a
making
complaint.
known
I know.
to the IG. My life has been threatened. People are thinking that she's over dramatizing it. But then again, she mentioned in her petition, because she wrote officially, that the last person that Senator Malaye had a brawl with is dead. So she's taking the matter seriously.
Our last paper this morning is this day. Saraki restates loyalty to APC. Mark Namani Masari meets Buhari in fence mending mission. Yeah, Buhari, judiciary not doing enough to fight corruption. Dogara House can no longer wait for executive on PIB. And Naira settles at 292 to the dollar as dealers limit spread on offers. Right, so any story here?
Inflation is at 16.5%. By the end of July, they're projecting that it will be 17%, an 11-year high. The cause of it is that Nigeria imports 70% of our fuel usage, as much as we're producing 1.6 million tons of crude oil every day, we need the government to...
I think a lot of things are being put in place.
While they are working on anti-corruption, which is very important, recovering our stolen money, they should focus on the economy. We are in recession.
We've been talking about that quite a bit.
But we have not seen anything.
We really need something.
No, but things are happening on the ground. I believe that, especially concerning the issue of petroleum and all that, what's his name? Whether we like it or not, is a force to be reckoned with. Dangote building a refinery. It might take a while, but I think with time, all these things, because by the time we start having private sectors invest in our refineries, we'll definitely see, transformation.
All right. That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, we discuss the high cost of education in Nigeria, and that's on Hot Topic. And later, we'll talk about scrapping post-UTME. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, the high cost of education in Nigeria is becoming pretty unbearable, as only the rich can seem to only afford the qualitative education for their children. Now, there's a photo trending on social media of a primary school in Lagos with an acceptance fee close to 2 million naira. How can parents give quality education to their children with the ever-increasing cost of education? It's your view. You can call us on 070-8066-804. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Right.
I always say thank God.
And then I become scared.
You are scared?
Then I now pity my brother who has like 4 or 5.
It's all his fault.
Let me make you laugh. My twins, because my twins are supposed to start school in January, because they're supposed to start in January because they're 18 months. My husband said, no, let's wait till they're 2. Let's save some money. Okay, we saved the money. Now September is coming. I said, okay, bros, we're going to spend for 3 kids now. When we did the calculation, I said, maybe they should attend a lesson to the enter primary school. I said, no, they are going to take. No. This thing is high now. We're like, so he's already thinking about it. So he's thinking really hard about how much he's going to put cough out for September.
What I mean, if they wanted to go into this school, they will be paying 6 million.
I'm saying.
Now, why we're talking about this is, if you already say that preschool is 2.2 million, nursery is 2.4, reception is 2.4, year 1, which is primary 1, is 2.8.
Bear in mind that is per annum.
We're saying, we're saying that this is even high by itself. But there's an acceptance fee that is non-refundable of 2 million naira to get into this particular school. Now, pardon me, I'm going to give an analogy of before the Westerners came, we did not have any teenager that was unemployed. Meaning that as a 14-year-old boy, you would go with your father to the farm or to fish or for carpentry or plumbing. A woman will learn hairdressing, sewing, pot making, cooking, to sell things. I'm saying before the Westerners came, before we never had people who were unemployed. Now, calculating that you start to spend about 4 million from preschool, and an average student spends 16 years going to school, let's say 50 million. And these days, people come out of school and stay at home and they're unemployed for all the monies that you have spent. So we have adopted Western education to our own detriment. We haven't grown in our own development as we are as Africans. And unfortunately, the education is so expensive.
That also probably even fuels what we have with this nepotism, because after you spend that kind of money, you have to just call one of your uncle, please help me put this one.
Let me even help Jumoke. I don't think it is us. I don't think the Western education should be blamed. I think it's on us, because you see, when you go to school abroad as a student, you're working. You're juggling between jobs and you're going to school. That is supposed to be the normal thing, for you to be able to sustain that kind of, school fees. My only worry with this situation is I see a lot of parents selecting schools based on names. Now we are not even sure of the quality, because you see, this school fees does not automatically show whether that school has quality or not. My brother-in-law, I met him over the weekend in Jos. He lives in Jos. He works with an international oil company. And guess what? He only has 2 children. I was telling him that, okay, I was expecting that by now you have more. He said, with this current economy, this person I'm telling you, they earn serious money. You understand? But yet they are considering the fact that because of the economy and because of the quality of the education and all that, they are limiting the number of children that they are having. So I think for me, it is not for any mother or any parent out there, sorry, YK. I think for us, we shouldn't be pressured. Because now it is not going to be competition of which school is your child going to. Because that is what I see a lot of mothers do. They are not focused on the quality of the education that the child is getting. It is which school, what is the name of your school? Let's
even give them the benefit of a doubt that these 2 million naira schools have the top notch. You have Queen Elizabeth herself coming to teach them English. You have whoever, Albert Einstein's son, coming to teach you mathematics, whatever it is. Let's give them that benefit of a doubt. Is that necessary in Nigeria today to have that kind of facility of 2 million for a preschooler? Does it make any sense?
Unfortunately, what I'm driving at that you still haven't gotten is that Western education, for instance, I come out as a chemical engineer. I wanted to study chemical engineering. Thank God Unilag did not admit me for chemical engineering. You don't have the manufacturing companies in Nigeria for the kind of education that we're getting. We import everything. We don't produce anything, and we are educated in this place. You study geography,
but
you study geology.
Be an entrepreneur now. They can
entrepreneur to do what? To become a farmer?
Well, that's serious money out of the country.
Why?
Really, we are making money.
In the days of our grandfathers, they passed down farming to their sons. A 14-year-old was a farmer. He didn't need to pay 50 million to become a farmer.
No, but
let me take this call. Adewale, I believe, from Ojodu. Adewale. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
And good morning to your other colleagues.
Good morning.
Yeah. I want to contribute to this program.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
See, the issue of high cost of education in Nigeria is becoming abnormal. If you recall, Murayo, Yeni,
yes,
during the time all of us went to school, things were not as expensive as this, and we had quality education.
Thank you.
Normally, education is supposed to be a reachable asset to every child. But the way things are going in Nigeria, I'm very sorry. We are causing a lot of damage. You can just confirm what I'm saying. In all sectors, things are becoming horrid. And where are we going? The government is supposed to bring about a regulation to education sector. They are not doing their bit. Probably they are getting certain things from it. I don't know. That is why I'm waiting for this UTM program that you want to bring in. If you recall, during our time, when we write JAMB, you don't go for extra exam. And you get into university without paying any screening charges. But suddenly they found out that JAMB is becoming complacent. They said, okay, let us introduce second exam. They introduced second exam. After second exam, JAMB went into trenches, they did good things, and they came up with online exam. Things became normal. You still want to continue what you were doing before.
Thank you very much, Adewale, for your
I wanted to take a cue from what Adewale said. The only way we can curb this kind of 2 million acceptance fee, it is only if the government is serious on education. Because you see, abroad you have an option to go to a private school or a public school because the standards are not far apart. So you are the one that have the choice. But right now, a lot of parents, they are like, you know, their hands are tied because you cannot carry your child to a government school.
But don't you think, because of the economic situation, that there should be a regulatory body that SCOM, you can't
they have regulatory bodies.
No, you cannot even regulate how much they will charge, because you're not the financier, you're not the one paying the bills. What if they tell you that, okay, they have expatriates and this is the amount of money that they are paying their teachers? You cannot put a regulation
then
to
don't.
that. The only way you can regulate it, YK, if you produce a school that is equal standard, that is cheaper, that is the automatic regulator that can ever happen. They would automatically reduce the cost of their school fees.
Victoria from Ikeja, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning, please go ahead.
Good morning, Murayo and Jumoke. I'm the first caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I have two comments on the topics that you raised this morning. It's of course one of the best topics that we need to correct some people's belief, especially when it comes to waste of money. Well, we cannot say it's a waste of money because everyone chooses to spend for his or her child. And, some people believe it is how expensive the school is. That is how quality education they will give to the world. But you don't blame them because we don't earn our money the same way. Some people get their money from different means. We are hearing from all those people that are spending billions of naira. Yeah. They have relatives too. They share for them. Yeah. So some of those people will, of course, spend money in those ways. The way the money comes, that is the way they will spend it. But of course, for people that are doing business and are earning a lot, we should just try to educate them just like you are doing. A preschool does not really need too much of money because it's a basic. And that does not determine how good the future of that child will become. So I think it's a wonderful topic. And
thank you very much, Victoria. Yes, YK.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you say they can't regulate them, but you can regulate landlords now. The landlord will tell you that, I built the house with this amount, you can't tell me. But the government can tell them, scum, you cannot exceed this amount. YK. I'm not disagreeing with you that they should have equal schools, but I'm also saying they cannot, these are ridiculous.
Let me explain the landlord situation. What the government has said to landlords is that don't take beyond 1 year rent. Do you understand? But I don't think the government has the capacity to tell the landlord how much that 1 year rent will be. Do you understand?
What I'm hearing Jumoke saying also is that you do all this, you invest all this much in education. At the end of the day, the child you're bringing can't even function in this economy. So that child might also be exported because you're probably training that child to be able to work abroad, not necessarily in Nigeria. Because
in this particular school, the curriculum.
An example. We wanted to construct Lekki Ikoyi Bridge. We needed expatriate welders. You want to build your house, you have to go and bring Togolese
even Chinese
tilers. We don't even have the expertise. Look, we have crude oil. We cannot refine it ourselves. Yeah. Cocoa, we cannot make it into chocolate ourselves, except foreign companies come into the country. So, what's the use of this foreign education?
Point. That's an interesting angle. Let's take a break now because it's also in a related conversation. The scrapping of the post-UTME in university has also raised a lot of discourse out there. Let's discuss and let's hear from our viewers their thoughts on this. We have a guest in the house who also open our hearts, our minds to see why this was done and what the benefits are. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, the federal government has officially cancelled the conduct of the post-UTME, and it has been scrapped for the 2016-2017 admission into the universities. But the Academic Staff Union of University has condemned the scrapping. ASU president has said that it does not serve the interest of Nigerians as the JAM examination is not credible enough to warrant the cancellation of the UTME tests. Now, joining us on the show is a lecturer, Department of Philosophy, UNILAG, Dr. Dan Ekere. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, even before we get into the UTME, you've been talking about people paying exorbitant fees for school fees. Yes. What are your thoughts on this? And I know that
it's a worrisome development that some schools charge so high. But interestingly, too, you find out that even with respect to other issues, the more costly some cars are, the more subset of people will go for them.
Yes, sir.
True.
These are questions of statement. They just want to tell the world who they are, the class they belong. The same goes with the schools. You could decide to go to it. In my time as a student, that was in the late 80s, those who attended, private schools were seen as people who have not to offer.
Yeah.
It is when you are unable to get into the government school that you think of, these private schools to find a way out. Because there, it was always assumed that you can pay proprietors and they arrange for you to.
I never even heard of
private schools were non-issues, all right? So that was because government was interested in education.
Thank you.
All right? Now, as we speak today, investment in education is very low.
Thank you.
Today, when you go to some of these public schools, the teachers are not ready to do their job. And it's not their fault. So the moment you have a because then we used to have, inspectors. Today, I don't even know whether they still have such inspectorate, even if they have them, whether they still do the inspection, I don't know. So we have that challenge. And because of that challenge, private schools are now flourishing. And interestingly, too, you should realize that a lot of these private schools employ anybody.
Thank you. They turn cleaners to teachers.
That is why I'm saying government must regulate
government schools. I remember in one holiday, I looked at the stress of taking my children to school for holiday lessons. There was this outfit very close to my house. I took them there, and each time they come, they will be complaining. That place is not good though. Apart from the issue of the toilets being dirty and all of that, the teacher asked them to do singular and plural. My daughter wrote men. The woman said no, it's men's.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, so it was at that point I said, no, the time has gone. Please stay at home. Are you getting it? So now,
that is what
check out the certificate, the quality, apart from just paper certificate. What experience do those teachers have, the ones that teach in private schools?
Yes, why you're going to
what I'm trying to say is that is what I'm saying. School is education. Government has to be in charge. Government has to regulate them. You cannot just open a school and put a clerk as a teacher and tell, I will not be paying 2 million and you have some rats
but
teachers.
I say, but let me see, you're right, but that's if our argument is correct. But our argument could be wrong, such that those guys are actually investing in real expatriates to be in those schools. In that situation, is it still right? That's
in
the question.
This particular school, my sister-in-law works there. Trust me, the expatriates and all graduates. She did an intensive course training. It's not joke. They are spending money on their teachers. They are investing on their teachers.
Okay.
Government cannot afford that.
No, we are not arguing.
May I take a few to it?
Okay.
To come to my first question. Gabriel says, let government take education seriously. That's what gave education entrepreneurs the soil to commercialize education.
Thank you.
Ricardo says, the problem of Nigeria is pride, living way beyond their means and living fake lives. Efosa says, it's either post-UTME goes or JAMB UTME goes.
Yes.
Higher institutions can conduct interviews for their prospective intakes.
Okay, this
brings me to the first question. Today, ASU is accusing the federal government of not funding education properly. As a lecturer, what are the issues? We blame you for not doing enough research. You're churning out graduates who are not entrepreneurs. They're unemployable in the labor market, but you turn out to blame the government. Please tell us the real situation of things.
All right, thank you. To start with, I'm not an ASU executive, so I'm not speaking
on their behalf.
Yes, I'm not speaking for ASU, but I will simply speak as one who is in that sector.
Okay.
Yeah, you recall that a few years ago, ASU went on strike, and each time ASU talked about strike, you get this, batching from even the public.
Yes.
Oh, they've come again for salary increment and all of that. The last strike, if you watch very carefully, ASU is a body of intellectuals. If you take a look at the Nigeria Railway Corporation, you see when railway workers were going on strike, protesting, looking for wage increase, and they were not bothered about acquiring new locomotives and the rest. Now, eventually, they got money and there was no job left.
Yes.
Because the things that would fetch them the salary were no longer on ground. And ASU, as a body of thinkers, looked at this and said, what we are interested in, apart from the money we have worked for, which we call the earned allowances, fund education. That was the major reason for that strike. And it was on the basis of that the previous administration had that agreement that there will be, ejecting certain amount of money into the system.
100 million per year.
No, I think it's
that was 200.
200, yes. Now, whatever amount, that was the target. And at the end of the day, the government actually made a release of part of it.
Yes.
And you know, the moment you step into election year, governance ceases. So everything went into politicking. And that was how it ended, or a new phase came in. As we speak today, I have no idea what the plan of this government is with respect to that agreement. And so I don't know where we are going. Now, coming to the issues of, you know, this post-UTME and the rest that we are related to it, we are talking about graduates not being employable and the rest. The question you should ask yourself is, the ones that are now not able to employ the new ones, where were they trained? Was it from outside?
We retrained ourselves.
So the same universities that train those who establish these businesses is the same university training the current. And you said that they trained you well, you were employable. But they are not training the current one well, it's not employable. Now, the problem is not with those who are training people. As at the time those people were in school, we just talked about our secondary school days, where you can go to school and the teacher is interested in your well-being. But today, because of issues of, you know, how do you survive?
No, teacher is interested in their own well-being.
Do you get it?
Parents.
Now, but I keep making reference, in my time, if you are not in class, when I was in primary school, the moment they do the roll call, you are not there. Where is social person? The class will close.
Yeah, they'll look for you.
We'll move to your compound. And if at your compound it is said that you've gone fishing, we'll trace you to the pond, wherever you are. We'll bring you the way you are to the class. If you are naked, we'll bring you to that class. So tomorrow you will not do that. So it became a lesson for everybody. Once it is time for school, you want to be in school. And that was because teachers were so concerned. Then they were comfortable.
Okay.
They could afford their daily needs. Today, it is not the same story. All right? So now, let's go back. That's not the rate. The issue of post-UTME. You should realize that JAMB did not begin with Nigerian universities. How were the universities admitting before JAMB? So there was a process. Now, maybe along the line, you now saw, okay, the population has increased and all of that.
True.
How do we do this? And essentially consider such factors like, what do you call them now? Issues of national balance, quota system and all the rest. You know, perhaps looking at that, the government now decided to introduce JAMB. And over the years, we'll be making do with it.
Yes.
All right? But at a point, the universities now, essentially with this complaint that students are not employable, people began to enter university, even when they have no business being in the universities. And much of it was from JAMB.
Okay, because from your arguments, what the UTME, the universities are saying, that people, for instance, you get a score of 280 in JAMB, and you now come into the university.
Not even coming to the university yet. Take the post-UTME.
Take the post-UTME.
You get 20 over 100.
You get 20 over 100. So what are you people trying now to say that you're discrediting the what's it called? The JAMB. What's it called?
No, but what is happening is that a lot of JAMB papers are leaked out, and people just copy. There's a lot of cheating. You know that there's a lot of cheating.
I know there's cheating.
So,
I'm just
understand. So that is why the universities are saying, because in the report we read, they said they asked one person, who wrote no longer artist. He said General Sani Abacha. They say it's that same person that they of course they want to come. Let's see what you can do. So they're like, take this exam first. Let me see if that your JAMB result is really
valid.
So what's the solution? JAMB or post-UTME?
Well, my position has been very clear. I've argued that on different occasions, even on TVC here, that we don't need JAMB. Now, a lot of these parents secure admission for their children abroad. Do they take any form of JAMB there?
No.
So how do they get admission?
No, SAT is for the secondary school.
How do they get admission? So
you apply to the
as I speak to you today, I can apply to any university in England, anywhere.
Yes, you apply to the school.
Is a direct,
My question, there's this
The
school
SAT scores are general. Everybody takes SATs. It's not
SAT is like GCSE now. SSE.
It's not a what do you call it? An entrance examinatory university, just like JAMB.
No, it's not.
School SAT is different from
You
JAMB.
will do entrance into the
School
university.
SAT is only a requirement. That is, you are now qualified, you finish with one level, you cannot move to the other one. Unlike JAMB is simply just an entrance exam. Your SSE result, you can keep it for life. JAMB is just for 1 year. Yes.
My question, going into the university, we know that even when we came with JAMB results, there were still some sorting. You pay money to get admission and gain admission into the university.
Yes.
If they say, okay, yes, we agree that we are scrapping
JAMB.
and the UT exams becomes
Corrupt
and whatever, don't you think the same corruption that is going on, that people are paying to get this, they will now start paying, because it's already happening in universities, except you want to deny it, sir?
Well,
because I know that universities, they also pay for admission to get their names on the list.
Yeah, but let me make one thing clear. Even as we speak today, there are all manner of messages in town, University of Lagos in particular now.
Yes.
Right? Admission has been, admission cutoff has been fixed. It's been flying everywhere. All right? People have started exchanging money. But go to the university website. They have made their position very clear. We have not decided on admission cutoff or whatever. But yet, you find that I've got different calls. My candidate says this and that. He's forwarded detailed whatever to me. Now, if you pay such money, at the end of the day, it is University of Lagos you will be calling that they are collecting money. Now, have you paid money to the university
account
to seek admission?
No.
So now it is you who is greedy. Because it is your that now goes to somebody and say, please, let's try and not do the system. Okay. This person who was supposed to get there, please take this 200,000 naira and put me there instead of the person.
Okay. Let me take a break.
Yes, it's the corruption.
My lecturer.
Welcome back. Now, still trying to connect our UTME conversation to the fact that in the top 1,000 list, Nigeria, they make the
first 100.
First 100. What are your thoughts on that? You know, I mean, are you saying that people like Jumoke were trained in the same system and that they're employers of labor? Yes, they are saying, they're now claiming that today our students are unemployable.
Yes. As at that time, where was the Nigerian universities?
Number 7.
Did they do any world rating that we were top and we now came to last? So where were the universities then? Because you are trying to make a comparison, you have to tell us where we were at the beginning and how much we have derailed. So let that survey come. And again, who does the survey? You see, you must always realize that...
I can tell you without survey.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt, but
okay.
I know that when I was growing up, when you qualified from a Nigerian university and you took your results abroad, you could get a job, you could enter anywhere in the world. Because I have a lot of cousins who did medicine here and they got good jobs and everything, you know. But today, when you qualify and they say Nigerian university, they first laugh.
Yes, there is that attitude. There's that attitude, but check out the number of Nigerian doctors abroad.
They write exams.
No, that one is just a test.
No,
it's a test. Exam is not the same thing as...
I heard from a reliable source. Wait, let me not to interrupt you.
Okay.
I heard from a reliable source.
Okay.
I have medical doctors as friends. If you graduate from a Ghanaian university today, you go abroad, it's automatic employment. But if you graduate from a Nigerian university, you go abroad, they will subject you to different series of examination before they can now qualify you.
That's very correct.
Yes,
so let me take this call before I let you respond.
Okay.
Abayomi from Ikeja, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Okay. Please, I want to contribute to the issue of private schools that are charging exorbitant fee.
Okay.
There is very little anybody can do because those who own those schools are investors. They put in their hard-earned money, and it's a business to them. They have to earn their returns.
Okay.
the only thing, like someone said on the program, let government improve the standard in the public schools and make the private schools unattractive.
All right. Thank you very much.
That is the way to go.
Thanks.
May I take a few tweets?
Yes.
Please, let me take a few tweets. Oluwatoyin says, JAM should be scrapped. A student who can't even spell his name scores 250 in JAM with the help of miracle centers. OBJ says, this is evidence of moral decadence in Nigeria. Is post-UTME really addressing the issue of admitting poor quality students? Omolaja says it's a two-edged sword. Schools have monetized post-UTME and government public institutions have also failed. It's a dire situation.
Adekemi says, please tell your guests that inspectors still visit government schools and teachers in Lagos. Government schools do their work efficiently. Okay, so you wanted to respond?
Yes, that's interesting. I'm happy to hear that. But I still do know that there are schools where the teachers, all they do is gist. I don't want to mention names, but at least I know there are some. So the inspectors need to, step up their work. It's good they are doing it, but they need to step up. Now, coming to the issue of the comparison you just, brought, question of Ghanaian, graduates going abroad, getting a job without any test. And now, let's check out records. Have Ghanaians broken more records than Nigeria?
No.
In any realm?
We have more population.
So, the same way, you get it. Now, but you should equally know that because of our status in Africa, eyes will usually be on you. All right? We have people who are making waves all over the world.
Yes.
Now, the fact that they don't subject their whatever to tests doesn't mean Ghanaians are better. We interact.
No, we have
those people that are making waves
now, don't equally forget that Obama came the other time. He visited Ghana. He didn't visit Nigeria. Does that make Ghana better than Nigeria?
Well, let me
now, so we should not use that as a basis. Now, look at Ghanaian universities. What invention have they made? Give me that, innovative
I don't want us to do the comparison with Ghana. I don't want us to go that far because
I'm only trying to tell you that the comparison you have just brought does not even match the situation.
Okay, let me give you my own.
Right, but then we have challenges.
Let me give you my own experience, my own personal experience. Now, maybe because with the issue, the angle I'm taking it from is the fact that it seems as though our own teachers are not learning the new ways, the new techniques. They're not improving themselves to know how. Yes, you're smart. You've trained the Jumokers, the Murayos, but there's new technology. You don't renew yourself because, for example, when I went to the US, I wanted to do a science exam. Usually, I was supposed to study the heart. When I was in secondary school. The Niger mentality, I knew the red and blue, the capillaries, I crammed everything. When I got to the examination hall, they already drew the heart for me. The colors were already there. They just told me to write name. I just just write and I'm done. On my mathematics exam, they gave me, I was there cramming all the formulas and everything. When I got there, as you come in, they give you a calculator. They expect you to use the calculator.
Thank you.
Nigerian
exam, they won't allow you to take a calculator.
No, that's
what I'm saying.
That's not correct.
I'm saying my own experience.
No, even the experience. You have not related the experience to realities.
Let her finish.
So I'm saying that
has been given calculators.
Recently.
Maybe recently.
I didn't use calculator.
I'm saying
that was your time.
The comparison I'm trying to make is that is it possible that what we are loading our children with is archaic?
Thank you.
Archaic knowledge because
but
things are different now.
Yeah, what you call different. Now listen. Listen. Wait first. Let me address that issue.
Okay.
What you have just told us now is that you have put the human brain on the technology. You see, and again, it affects. Don't forget that it has its own negative effects. What you could have done yourself, machines are doing it for you.
Hey, wait.
You are thrown away.
You are really a lecturer.
Let me give you another final example. There was my law and something exam. Okay? It was the examination day. I was late already. I entered the hall. Everybody had their textbook on the table. Me, Niger mentality, I didn't go with my textbook. I only came with my biro. Everybody had their textbook. Because they want you to have the book, know where to find the answers. Don't cram the answer in your head. Don't store knowledge. Have the book with you and know where to find it. I had to rush back to my dormitory to go and beg. I was already late for my exam because we are taught to cram and load your brain.
You're
not supposed to load your brain.
The reason why you came late was not because you were trying to cram.
I was cramming in my head.
The reason why you came late was not because you needed to go and get.
You don't know it, though.
No,
you are only cramming it. Once one small thing happens, your brain will just do short circuits. Everything will go.
We're about to run
Now,
off. I wanted to ask you for solutions.
Okay.
Because when our universities were built, the numbers of the people who were gaining admission were minute to the population that we have today.
Very
Solution
correct.
moving forward.
Yes. I remember some years ago at the University of Lagos, for instance, then I was not there. But you could see that if you interact with anybody who was in school then, we will tell you, you will go to the cafeteria, you eat with ticket, you eat enough.
Tea from the tap.
Students were provided with beddings.
In those days.
Go to class, you come back, your bed is dressed.
Yeah.
I mean, if our life was sweet, then education was interesting. Right?
So you are agreeing on our page now?
No, I've not deviated from it. I'm only telling you.
You have to round up.
Yes. Now, it has to do with funding. Interestingly too, the military, of which the current president is part, we are the ones who disrupted the system.
Yes, I agree.
Don't forget the days of the Ali must go issues.
Yes,
now,
so
those things that were there, they felt that it was too much pleasure for them. Now, today, in the north, students or children would prefer to be into, cattle rearing to going to school. Now, how do you attract such people? If you find a school more attractive than cattle rearing, the child is likely going to go to school. So you need to make the environment attractive. That has to do with funding.
Fantastic. I need to give you
my lecturer.
Thank you so much, sir, for being
Thank you.
here.
It's always a pleasure.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show as we did. Catch us tomorrow again at 9 o'clock. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bye.